everyone, and welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? A show where everything is made up, but the points actually do matter. If any of that sounds a little familiar, well, that's because yes, this is an improv comedy podcast where all the stories you're about to hear were completely made up on the spot, guided and prompted by real improv comedy games. How does it work? Well, two players are tasked with having a podcast-like interview or conversation, making it all up as they go, but there's a third guest who can interrupt at any time and give them new rules or new directions for their conversation via a list of different improv games and guidelines. How do you win? Well, if a player breaks character or simply doesn't follow the rules of the game they're in at the time, the other person is awarded a point, and at the end of a 20-minute time limit, the guest with the most points wins, and of course, becomes known to the world as a comedic genius. So, without any further ado, let's find out who's making stuff up in this episode. Probably like a
it's
TikTok
stuck
dance
around
somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah, it is. It's got to be.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's got to be.
There's no way it's
taking
not.
us down a rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
guys, we're making this too much of a regular podcast. We got to make this an improv podcast where we got to make some stuff up. So are we ready to do that?
Yeah.
Right now, this very moment? Well, in that case, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? This is a very real podcast. We're a fake podcast about someone's very fake life story is going to be made up right on the spot. But of course, as you can tell, I can't do that by myself. I am joined this episode by two very wonderful guests that I am very, very excited to have on the show. First, sitting to my right, Krista Stauffer, which we established earlier.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
is
so much
fun.
for being here. And Ryan Francis, my dear friend. Hey, welcome back. This is like the 19th time we've podcasted together.
Yeah, like 1920, 21-ish.
21,
right
somewhere we're in there. And I'm
guys
glad
are
to
that
have you back. Basically.
Okay.
So what's going to happen if you happen to skip past all the rules? The open of this show actually explains every bit of the rules for this, but I'm in the captain's chair for this episode. So that means I'm going to task Ryan and Krista with the duty, the wonderful duty of making up a podcast and making up an interview right on the spot while one of their life stories is made up as we go. But of course, I can't do that until I get things prepped. So I'm going to pull out our timer here because we do time things around here because it is a game.
You should.
That's a really expensive timer.
It is.
It is.
It's called the Apple Timer 13 or something like that.
It's the iPhone.
Exactly. Yes. But I also need to establish your guys' roles for this episode. Who's going to be interviewing who, whose show this is, all that good stuff. So, Krista, this show is going to be yours.
Thank you.
You're going to be the interviewer for
love
this,
that.
which means, Ryan, you are the guest.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to give us a theme to make everything up within.
Okay.
And this theme is, Ryan, you are a retired pro wrestler. And Krista, you have a podcast, but as a host, you don't really believe wrestling is real. So, those are our guidelines for this conversation. Of course, I will interject as we go with all these different improv games and guidelines to build the conversation as we go. But are you guys ready? Do you have it set? Do you have your characters in mind? A pro wrestling podcast, or maybe lack thereof. We'll find out with a retired pro wrestler. Krista, take it away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rasslin? ? My name is Karen Chase, and we're here today with another pro wrestler. We're gonna put that. I'm putting these. I know this is a podcast, and not everybody can see. I'm moving my fingers in the air, like the bunny ears on the side, as though I were saying quotation marks around pro. But I'm joined here today by a former pro wrestler who is going to tell us what he did in the ring. So, hi, who do we have with us today?
I'm Rick Hamloaf Steinman.
Rick, I'm going to have you breathe a little bit away from the mic. You're hurting my decibels.
Oh, I'm so sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
Say your name one more time.
Rick Hamloaf Steinman.
Is that hyphenated?
There's no, what's a hyphen?
It's a line.
I don't I don't know what that is.
Okay.
No.
Rick Hamloaf.
The Hamloaf.
Oh,
the Hamloaf from Louisiana.
Steinman.
Change.
The Hamloaf from Bolivia.
Okay. Bolivia, Texas. I've heard that city has had a lot of tumultuous drama as of late, just with crime and. Bolivia, Texas is your hometown. Did you grow up in Bolivia, Texas?
Oh, well, I grew up in Bolivia, Texas, and that's where my family's from. You know, they live in Bolivia, Texas.
That's usually what they do in your hometown.
Exactly.
Is they live
Exactly. We cause pain and ruckus wherever we go. The Hamloaf's coming through. Hoorah!
Change that little thing you did at the end.
The Hamloaf's coming through. KIPPA-KOW!
With the KIPPA-KOW, is that a gun in the air? Is that a Texas thing that you did?
No, it's not. Those are my fingers.
I saw your fingers.
No,
I know
it's not.
you don't have a gun.
KIPPA-KOW! That's what you do.
But
KIPPA-KOW!
Oh.
Before you give him the sledgehammer of the Hamloaf, you go KIPPA-KOW!
KIPPA-KOW!
And then you just drop an elbow right on their torso.
You were cow farmers in Texas. KIPPA-KOW!
Well, there's a lot of cow farmers in Texas, obviously, naturally, but I was the son of a gold miner.
In Texas?
Yes, we grew up very poor. He didn't do very well.
Not. Gold mining. KIPPA-KOW! You grew up in Bolivia, Texas. Son of a miner.
Not like a miner, like a child, like.
No, I would like
gold
to hope
miner.
so.
Yeah.
You grew up under pretty, shall we say, with quotation marks, bad circumstances in your life. I'd like to know the name Hamloaf. Do you eat a lot of ham as children of a miner?
Absolutely. We ate ham all the time.
Hamloaf in specific?
Hamloaf specifically, it's the most delicious block of meat one could ever sink their teeth into.
I'm going to pause us here and interject with our very first game of this episode as we continue to figure out who Hamloaf, the pro wrestler, is here and his backstory here. Let's go ahead and start off by playing Alphabet. We are going to start, in honor of Hamloaf, let's start with the letter H. Krista, take it away.
How many forms of loafed meat are there in the world?
Infinite. You can think of so many different kinds of meats.
Just give me one.
Killians, Bajombi, Crombuckus.
Crombuckus I have heard of.
That is a break. The game is over. That is
so
a point.
Disappointed in myself right now.
A point to
Stop
the
laughing.
Hamloaf. A point to Hamloaf. I can't remember the rest of his name. I just remember Hamloaf. Folks, give a big KIPPA-KOW to Mr. Hamloaf here. Well, that game is over.
I was so excited about. Sorry, I was just going with it because I love that word and I wanted to go back to it.
You were very excited.
I was really excited.
So let's dive. I'm gonna also, before we go back here, I'm gonna use a podcast producer power here.
Okay.
I really want to. We've established some of the background of who Mr. Hamloaf is. Let's really talk about his time in the wrestling business because remember, Krista, you don't believe that it's real.
don't. It's
So let's
not.
really kind of dig into what he did in the wrestling world and whether you think it's real or not.
Right.
Let's continue the conversation as normal.
Okay. So this pro wrestling thing that was apparently televised at one point in time, it sounded like a cult to me. Was it a cult? Is it a cult?
No, it was not a cult whatsoever. It was just a bunch of guys just hanging out, body slamming each other.
Change.
Just a bunch of dudes getting sweaty and slipping on canvas.
Did you know that you were into men before this started?
I'm not into men.
But you're literally on men. On men if you're doing this wrestling thing.
We are like a big family, a team. and we work together to perform certain things. Like when I take Johnny Bottaducci and slam him onto the canvas, and then I take the good old Hamloaf slammer and KIPPA-KOW and blast down on him right on the mat.
What happened to your voice just now?
Change.
What's wrong with your bodysuit? Is it pinching when you sit? Is that the reason that your voice is changing? Because you're in a singlet as we speak. The audience can't see you.
I just get real excited sometimes.
No, I saw that too.
I've been smoking for 65 years, too.
Change.
I have bronchitis all the time.
So how could you wrestle if you have bronchitis? Let's be fair. It takes breathing to slam.
I'm going to pause us, and you can answer that question. But we are going to move into actually yes and. Let's bring an Improv 101 game into this. Let's continue with yes and.
What was the question?
You said something about doesn't it take breathing to body slam?
Breathing. You have to breathe to slam.
Yeah. Yippee-cow!
Wow, that went really well.
That went really
We'll go
well.
ahead and say that was yes and.
That was a yes
That
and.
was a yes.
That was a
Which
yes.
technically, that's a point to Krista.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a
Just as soon as it popped up, it went away. Let's go ahead and continue. But you know what? We took the time to pause here, so we might as well
did.
interject
Yeah.
with another game. Let's play number of words.
Okay.
Krista, you are going to get 5 words.
Oh, that's so many. Okay.
Ryan, you are going to get 2 words. And let's continue our interview.
So, lots of body slamming.
Fuck yeah.
Did it hurt you much?
Not once.
But you have black eyes.
Daydreams.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I know.
So you are into men.
I'm sorry.
I take that as yes.
Well, maybe.
Do you like them nude?
Not really.
Do you prefer the singlet?
Sometimes.
Does it chafe often there?
Every day.
So just take it off.
Right now?
I don't mind if so.
Well, okay.
Wow, much bigger than expected.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm going to give you both a point for that one.
That took a turn.
Our story took a turn here. From
You know what? Here's the beauty of it, though. You can take it into a beautiful,
Yeah, we really took it to a
We took
beautiful
it-
place.
And as we
took it to
continue,
Skinamax.
Yeah.
as we continue to take it to a beautiful place, let's
Right.
go ahead and add in some accents here.
Okay.
I know Hamloaf has a little bit of an accent, but we're going to go ahead and change it up. So continue
Okay.
your interview, but with an accent.
So I think that we've established that I'm kind of into you now.
She's into me.
Yeah,
She's into this.
all of that. I kind of like looking at every part of it. Thanks for taking that thing off.
I used to have a 6-pack when I was younger.
Of beer?
Well, of beer and with my abs.
Oh, your abs. No, I like your abs the way they are now.
Oh, that just makes me feel really nice when you say nice things to me like
Well,
that.
I'm really excited to say nice things to you. Oh, I do have some more questions though, and I just want to get to those because I know we don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to run out of time because it makes me sad.
KIPPA-KOW.
Speaking of questions, before whatever was just happening continues, Also, I'm mind blown by whatever Rugrats character you just busted out.
Yeah,
that was mind blowing.
wow.
You don't have to continue with the accents, or you can
No.
if you'd like.
Kind of hurts the thorax.
But you just mentioned
It's
you
not
have.
thorax.
You just mentioned. You just mentioned that you had
Krista's thorax.
some questions. So let's go ahead and continue with questions only, and go.
Do you forgive me?
Why would I forgive you?
Could you forgive me for not believing in your art?
I'm not sure if I really want to forgive you. Do you think I should?
Was that a question?
Don't think that was a question. I think I put a period after that first sentence that I asked a question.
You singing is not going to get you out of winning this game.
Listen, I
just
let that
trying to
one slide. I let the one slide, and you could have saved it, but you didn't. So,
I rolled with it.
questions only is now over. Continue as normal.
Absolutely. It's it's so hard, Hamloaf, to remember where we've been. We've journeyed so far in this short amount of time.
You've seen my little loaf.
I did see Little Loafy. Can I call him Little Loafy?
You can. You
I like
can.
that. Yeah, it's better than Hammy. That sounds weird. When you continue in this so-called career, how are you going to support me as your new lover?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to go to a lot of conventions. I'm going to sign autographs to all the little Hamloafians that are out there. We're just going to sign all those papers, and I'm going to overcharge for my signature.
Yes, overcharge. Yes.
You can have all the money,
I need all the money.
but I need some money too
For what?
to make sure that we have enough ham.
Is
In
that
the
all?
refrigerator.
That's all you eat?
That's all I eat.
We're gonna work on your dietary behaviors.
That's fine. I've got lots of diabetes. Having a lot of diabetes for a very long time. Yippee-cow!
And with that Yippee-Cow, I'm going to pause us real quick. We are going to go ahead and play another game as
Wrestling with
Wow.
diabetes.
we get into our last few moments of the game here. We are going to play Whose Line. I'm going to give each player 2 secret lines on these wonderful pieces of paper that you must implement into your interview with the time remaining at some point, and continue.
I know that we're on a podcast, and I know it's strange to propose this, but will you marry me?
Wow. This is just all of a sudden. We've just met, but
We
like
just
I
met.
really feel like we're clicking and you
I said
understand.
10 minutes ago.
You understand the ham, and I really like a chick that can really dig what's going on with the ham. Well, all I've got to say to you is, I don't think we've talked about boobs enough today.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to show you mine here in just a few minutes.
Oh, well, that is just
You
dandy.
showed me your little loafy, and why would I not show you lefty and righty? That's what I...
Change.
Why would I not show you Laverne and Shirley? Schlemiel Schlemazel. Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated. You know what, my boobs, if they could talk to you right now, they would say, the sexual tension between us is killing me. It's right here in between both of them. That's what they say. Righty says, the sexual tension is killing me. Lefty says, I've felt it all along.
It's getting really hot in here.
It is getting. So take off all your clothes. Oh, wait, you did! You
Yeah.
did. You got into your singlet. And
Yeah.
You know what? I think that in our wedding vows that I'd like to include the following sentence too, because I really feel attached to it.
Okay.
Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I've never had someone look at me or talk to me the way that you have, other than Rick Inferno in 1998, back
know
at the
Rick.
Ballroom Blitz.
I know Rick.
Wait, you know Rick?
I did Rick. That's why this podcast started.
I hate Rick.
I hate Rick too. I love you.
I know where they. I know. I know where they're. I know where they're keeping Walt Disney's head.
His head.
His head.
His head. Sorry, I needed to clarify. Couldn't hear.
Yeah, his head. I know where they're
Do you have it?
keeping Walt Disney's head.
You have it. You have it. We're gonna sell it.
We can sell it. We can use it.
We can use it.
I'm going to pause us here. We're in our last 5 minutes of the game here. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use some podcast producer powers here to spice up the story as we begin to close this episode.
It's pretty damn spicy.
It's getting pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do. Walt Disney used to promote wrestling events back in the day, which is why you're bringing it up, okay? But you, Krista, this entire time you've made a podcast where you're kind of questioning professional wrestling and all that sort of stuff. You brought up Walt Disney. You were actually on the team of Walt Disney back in the day. You were actually a part of his wrestling promotional, all right? You were a part of his wrestling promotions, right?
I just hit my head.
So you've been fully aware of Mr. Hamloaf over here. And you were the former lover of one of his greatest rivals in a match that went down in infamy back at the Disney Wrestling Federation. Okay, so we're going to tie all this together. Disney used to have a wrestling promotion, used to work for it. You were also the secret lover of one of Mr. Hamloaf's most heated rivals. And in the last few minutes of this episode here, I think it's time to reveal all of that and bring it full circle and go.
Before we get married, I think it's wise to disclose a couple of things.
Sure.
I don't know if you've heard of the DWF. It disbanded a long time ago, and there were some bad feelings from that really encouraged me to begin this. But there was a wrestler on there named Dingleberry.
Change.
Named Wrinkled Foreskin. And WWF, wrinkled foreskin. I know you know him, and I'm...
Oh, I know all about wrinkled foreskin.
But it's very, very over. It's very over. It was brief. It was during a time in my life.
Look, I need to stop you because we cannot pursue this any further. Wrinkled foreskin was the bane of my existence. Wrinkled foreskin and I go back to the great days.
I know.
In the mighty 80s. When we took it to the top of the steel cage. He broke open my face. Look at me.
I don't
Look
wanna.
at me.
Okay.
He broke
He
open
did,
my
and I see
face
the
on a
scars.
turnbuckle.
I was there.
Wrinkled foreskin got all up in the Hamloaf.
That was his catchphrase.
I despise wrinkled foreskin, and the fact that you had anything to do with wrinkled foreskin just makes me see red.
Change.
It makes me see ham.
That's what I want to see too.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. Would you ever show me little Loafy again? Would
Change.
you ever put your singlet on me in the middle of the night?
Well, you know what they say. When the pork needs a pounding, you bring the pigs out.
I've never heard that, but I like that.
I'm going to keep using our KIPPA-KOW as a break to play a game. We've got 2 minutes left in the game
God.
here. Let's go ahead and play Fortunately, Unfortunately, and go.
So fortunately, sounds like you're a forgiving man.
Unfortunately, I'm not very forgiving. I need you to understand that.
Fortunately, I do. I do. I'm asking for your forgiveness, though.
Unfortunately, you messed around with wrinkled foreskin, and my forgiveness does not extend that far.
Fortunately, the herpes have cleared. So we can be clean from here on out.
Unfortunately, my doctor told me herpes never clears.
Fortunately, I have a cream.
Fortunately, that's not a permanent solution.
Unfortunately, no, but when the flares are down, the fires are up.
Unfortunately, this Hamloaf is going to stay herpes free. Do you understand?
Unfortunately, yes.
Fortunately, I'm going to take this opportunity to take this conversation, this ham loaf, and get the hell out of here.
Wow, what timing that just ended on. You decided to leave right at the 20-minute mark.
Amazing.
My cheeks hurt. Oh. My cheeks hurt from smiling and laughing
That's
so
great.
much. Wow, my face is numb.
That's
It is
great.
actually numb.
That journeyed.
Wow,
that
what
went-
an incredible
places.
series of events.
Wow.
That
That's
we
a lot.
So we found out, what was his full name? Steve Hamloaf McMichael? What was his?
I don't even know.
I don't think I got
I
it
don't
ever
remember.
at any point.
I remember. Well, you said it at the beginning, but I do not remember. I just remember it was Hamloaf.
Yeah,
Hamloaf.
I had to. Yeah,
it was
Hamloaf.
hyphenated at some point.
Yeah,
We
it
got a
was-
little bit of your backstory
Yeah.
Yeah,
from Bolivia, Texas.
that was great.
That was
I had
good.
no idea where Bolivia came from, and you were just like, "Oh, Bolivia, Texas," and I'm like, "That's
it.
hilarious."
And I love that as you questioned him about whether wrestling was real, I love that also Hamloaf just stayed in character. Hamloaf is Hamloaf for life.
For life.
When you're Hamloaf, you're Hamloaf
always the
for
Hamloaf.
life, brother.
Oh, that's great.
That was a pretty good one to put you in, right?
that
was
good.
great.
That was
That
good.
was good.
That was
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
Well, much like professional wrestling, this
I don't know where
show
that's going. Are you going to get naked?
this show also has winners and losers. But these ones were not predetermined. This one just happened as the game went, as it went down right now, because this is an improv show and that's what happens. So, the winner has now been determined.
Oh boy.
The points are in.
Oh boy.
No, KIPPA-KOW. Remember? There it is. Yeah.
Kapow.
You can't make the finger things.
That was really
Is that
good.
a gun?
I really
That
wish.
was my finger.
Kind of doing the pink one in the finger.
What was that?
What?
I think between that retired pro wrestler and the podcast host, we're probably going to get into a little bit of that at some point. Although you did deny her at the end, and it was decided that her being with your former heated rival was way too much for you to bear. But the scores are in, and I'm going to take a look at the old official scoreboard here.
Oh
The
boy.
piece
see-
of paper in front of you.
Whose shoulders were pinned to the mat for a count of 3, because someone won and someone lost.
Oh boy.
And while Krista, you got to 3 points.
Yeah.
3 entire points is what you scored throughout that
Wow.
game.
That's
And Ryan, you almost kicked out at 2. But unfortunately, by that I mean you only scored 2 points and Krista wins. Krista,
I was like, did we tie?
I
There's
know,
no
like,
way.
wait a minute. I don't know what's happening now.
this one's not ending in a double count out. I'm going to keep the wrestling puns going.
Oh, God. You lost me at most of that.
Your winner of this episode, Krista, you're taking it home.
What am I taking home?
I have
Can I get the
a
plant? Plant's
large.
cute.
Well, you don't get anything in here, but I will be making you a large championship belt in theme of this episode. And I will probably just Photoshop an image of it together, text you that image.
No, I love that.
And then you can do with that what you'd like.
Absolutely.
I can't really afford an actual championship title.
Completely understand.
So, guys, that
Yeah.
was it.
That was it.
How
was
do you
great.
feel?
That was great.
That was so much fun.
That was
That
fun.
was great.
That was,
that was really. I wish Hamloaf was real.
I do too.
And Greg
I wanna know
Inferno
more about
and whatever.
Hamloaf's backstory.
I do also want to know.
Wrinkled foreskin.
And wrinkled
Yeah, what happened
foreskin.
there?
I'm glad. I like how you brought the
happened there?
WWF thing into
Thank
it. That
you.
was good.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. That was really good. Well, before we tell everybody goodbye, what do you say we play one more game, but we do it together? I want to be
Yes.
included.
Yes,
in this.
and we should.
How about we
Yeah.
make this one-on-one a triple threat match?
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That's another wrestling pun.
Is it?
It
Oh,
is.
I
It
don't-
is. I could have said 3-way, but that would have been a sex pun, not a wrestling pun.
No,
So
I would have
said-
known that one.
I said triple threat match is what I
now,
said.
see, triple
instead
threat
of
in my world is
something else.
I got rhythm,
I
I got music.
music.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
singing, dancing,
Okay.
acting.
Yeah, I like that. I know that
That
song.
is a triple
absolutely.
threat.
It is a triple threat.
Well-
I am not a triple threat.
Let's use our triple heads and put them together.
Let's do it.
Here's what I want to do. Let's form a wonderful goodbye to our audience at home, but let's do it one word at a time. I'll kick us off. How about that?
Yep.
Hey. Ryan,
Let us know what you're.
you go.
Are we forming a sentence?
One word at a time. Yes,
Oh.
we are.
You.
Are.
Really,
Special.
And
I
Love.
Each
And
Every.
one
who
Watched.
hour
pants
Tonight.
because
I
Feel.
pants
aren't
Appropriate.
for
professional.
Wrestlers.
thanks.
Sure, that one will work. If there's anything we want the people at home to know.
Yeah.
I don't really, pants for professional
Nothing.
wrestlers, we get it at this point.
Yeah.
No
They
pants
Have, they
pants
have definitely
for
proved
professional
that.
wrestlers.
Yeah.
And
agree.
hey, Ryan, really quick,
Yeah.
where can people find Hamloaf's next match? Big promotion coming up?
Oh, the next Hamloaf big promotion. Wait, for real? Am I playing a game right now? I think Hamloaf's retired.
Oh, yeah.
You said the Comic-Con, though. There's Comic-Cons coming up.
Hamloaf appearance at the Columbus Comic Con.
Not even that one.
even
yeah.
that
Wait, like a huge thing?
It could be.
I'm so confused. I am lost. I am literally totally gone. Yeah, Hamloaf's going to be at the Comic-Con. That's exactly what's going to happen.
And on
Hamloaf's
that
at
note-
the Comic-Con.
1, 2, 3.
4.
No,
Five.
there's no
Six.
unless they're outside of the. All right. It's over.